Welcome to On the DL. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Dara.
And I'm Linds.
And we are here. We got through laughing. We're going to learn how to edit. We're going to edit out my mother calling as we started this. And here we are.
2 times the charm.
2 times the squirrel.
Exactly.
So.
Oh boy.
This has been so long in the making. A year in the making.
So long. Yeah. Over a year, really.
Yeah.
Because we started talking about this, I think, in September of last year.
Yep. September of last year.
Yep. Right around eclipse season.
Oh, good.
And now, here we are, the intro to squirrels.
Intro to Squirrelcast. If you have ADHD, you fit in. You'll keep right up with us. What were we talking about? I don't know. You need a map.
It's going to be you talking and me laughing in response.
We're going to need a map for all of the twists and turns that are going to occur. But for this first episode...
Joey Boombots.
Joey Boombots. Everybody, there is a whole glossary of isms, of characters,
There's a lot of
sayings. So Joey Boombots, he is like our spiritual mascot. He is president
of all the lands.
Of all the lands. He's kind of an asshole. He never takes the baton. He never takes the baton. He is not a team player. I know.
He was like, it really is just you two.
And we're like,
and
thanks.
Then there's me.
Do you want to help? No.
Absolutely not.
You guys are doing great. You guys are doing great. Snaps. I need help, but you're doing great.
You got this, girl. Keep going.
Boombots for Prez.
2024.
But just for the background of Joey Boombots, so my father, who is Italian, basically if he just doesn't know somebody's name, he calls them Joe or Joey. So then he'll be telling a story. He's like, hey, Joey Boombots down there. He was just doing this, da-da-da-da. And we're like, what the fuck is Joey Boombots? He's like, I don't know his name. He is we and we are she and we are all Joey Boombots.
Joey Boombots really is just the universe, but...
It is the universe. Some believe in God. Some believe in goddess.
And some believe in Joey Boombots.
Oh my god.
Oh,
so, how do we get here?
We start.
That's where we started. How did we get here? Fun fact, might not see coming, it did not involve a psychiatric inpatient stay.
However, it did in fact include 2 ER nurses talking in the back of the psych ward.
Yes, a psych ward was involved. We just were not the patients.
We were in fact the nurses.
We were. That might scare you more.
Can I get a rock drop?
Rock drop. So for our next item on the glossary list, rock drop. When life is blowing your fucking mind, you just need a rock to drop it. Wait.
Do you have your rock? Did you bring
I have rock.
Oh, the rock!
So for those who are watching said video, this rock was acquired at Red Rocks when Lindsay and I had a very mind-blowing experience, and I just kept, as all the information was sifting into our brains, I just kept going, oh my god, here we go, another rock chop. I'm gonna need my rock chop. So now, when something is fucking up your shit, you are learning new things, you have information coming into your mind, into your awareness. Can I get a rock chop?
Rock drop.
Rock drop.
Can I get another one?
Anything for you. We were born into this life of Italians. Like, we are of Italian descent, and the Italians, they love the stonework. It's just a part of our heritage.
You just gotta build it with the stone.
With the stone. Can I get a rock drop? I love rock. And rock will stay with us. And I almost lost the rock, and then Lindsay had to be my mom for a moment and find it in the deserty stuff.
Depths of red rocks.
Depths of red rocks as we're sitting and waiting for all the cars to shuffle out, and we're just chilling on a blanket. Snacks.
That was the best night, dude.
It was. It was really good, and also just really scary and good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about the scary part. I was just thinking how good it was.
Is it good if it's not a little scary?
I mean, is it good if we're... I mean, thank God we were together. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Thank God we were together.
Would have ended up in the psych ward, yes.
Yeah, no,
but that is a story for another time.
Oh, that's a whole podcast.
That's a whole episode in itself for when we are.
I can't wait to tell that one.
Good Lord, I love citrus fruits.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
For another time.
The wheels have stopped.
So, refocus. How did we get here? And how are we all today here?
How did we make our way back here?
How did we get here?
Shall I start with the baton?
Oh, go ahead. Baton to you, girl.
I will take the baton on this one.
You know who's not getting the baton?
Joey Boombots.
Joey Boombots. Okay, Lindsay's got the baton. Hit me, girl.
All right, so this goes way back. We go way, way back. Rock Drop 2018, I think. Yeah, 2018. Goes way back. Dara and I were working in the ER. That's where this all started. I was watching our faces. Do we take a moment of silence for that? Do we just
back in Nam?
Literally. So Dara and I were war buddies back in the day.
Back in the day.
And by war, I mean Hartford ER.
My poor nervous system.
It's just...
I had migraines that radiated to my teeth.
Oh, yeah. The teeth hurting was real. But, yeah. Dara and I met back in the ER in 2018, and little did we know that the conversations that we would have in the back of the psych pod while working overnights together would lead us here to this very moment.
Life is funny like that.
Life is real funny like that. I'll let you tell your take on it, but I just remember connecting with you in a way that I didn't connect with anybody else in the ER. And like, there was just always something about us, but I could never put my finger on it, let alone like I was not tapped into the point where I was now, where I'm like, oh no, I can energetically feel like there's something more there. And we went through many a assignment together in that year and a half, I think. We worked together. It's about a year and a half.
Feels like a blip. I think I know.
I
think I blacked out for a lot of it.
Did you?
I don't know. Same. I think my brain kind of shut off a lot of those memories. It's like, we're gonna see.
Yeah, it's probably for the better. But yeah, so we were in the ER for about a year and a half together, and then I pieced out very gracefully, I might add. Guys, I'm leaving tomorrow. Bye.
You did text me. I did get a text. I remember that. You texted me, you're like, hey, by the way, I'm not coming back. Don't tell anybody. I was like, okay. It's been swell.
See you on the flip side.
And then like friggin' 4 years later.
Literally, I left Hartford ER in 2019. And you and I think kind of like intermittently stayed in touch over like social media.
Socials,
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
And wound up, I think it was last year or the end of 2022.
Yeah, it was last year. It was 2023, the summer. You really started coming into your readings, which were just like,
that's right. Yeah.
hitting me in the
spot.
titties, and then, can I get a titty hit? And yeah, and then you came over in September, and then we were just like, you're my best friend. Like a grandma.
The end.
Just like that.
The end.
We have so much room for activities. Those activities include the hole. Not to be confused with the K-hole. Just a good old spiritual death hole. And to round it back from something big is coming to something big is here, death.
It's going to be a very big topic on
Buckle
this
in.
podcast. Buckle in, everybody.
Not only do we buckle in, but we take a look back. You got to check the back.
Your homies are good. Also, make sure that there's no creepers creeping back there. Joey.
The homies in the back. Joey, put your seatbelt on. Oh my god.
Oh, this is only like the first 5 minutes. Everybody better buckle up now, all right?
Buckle up now. Get a snack.
Get your coffee.
Get your coffee. Get some electrolytes.
Hydrate up, bitch.
Yeah. So then we came together in our beautiful friendship and truly realized, I mean, the reason why we're here is that when you and I come together in our friendship, it's like accelerated magic.
Insane. There really is no.
It's an experience.
There's no words. It's an experience. It's an immersive experience.
We could have a festival, but like we are the festival. You're just hanging out with us. And
we're not doing retreats. We're doing festivals. But it's just hanging out with us for a couple days. You'll never be the same. Great time. Sounds like a festival I want to attend. Oh wait, I am the festival.
Attendance is mandatory.
Oh wait, I am the festival.
Oh yeah. It was us all along.
It was us all along. We have so many to add to the glossary of things. It was us all along.
It was us all along. Last year, Linds and I there were so many videos and like readings and things and kind of advice on the thing that usually is your purpose or your generation of dreams, or, you know, if you want to go onto a business standpoint, it's usually like the thing that is the most obvious. And the other day we were listening to a podcast we did on my podcast that I was recording last year, and it hit us both. We were like, we are the thing. And it was us all along.
It was always us. It just always
us.
comes back to us. It was always us. That's so wild, dude. I think back to like that time when we were gonna podcast together, and then we had our conversation, and we were like, "No, I think we're just gonna both go separate ways for a little bit,
just for a little bit,
And then we ended up podcasting together, anyways, and it was the most magical.
It was always the best.
It was always the best. And now here we are, two squirrels, found our way back to each other.
Yes, we did.
We've acquired many more characters along the way since last year.
Yep. Something that my partner says to me, he says, I love all your little personalities. I'm like, you will never be bored. There are so many.
We got Brenda.
She eats wubs and dubs only.
We love Brenda.
It's gluten-free. God.
The wubbiest diet ever.
The wubbiest diet you'd ever have in your life. Let's let it be a surprise. Tell me she's a Gemini rising, people. And no, it's not multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love her.
like, how do we even encompass? I think we're just you guys are gonna learn us along the way. We're all gonna be besties here. We're all just spiritual besties.
On a freaking road trip of a
We're
lifetime.
on a road trip, but the road trip is life. The destination is death. But don't be scared.
Can I get a rock drop, please?
Rock always has to be here. This is why Rock had to come home with me. Because Rock was going to be here for the podcast.
Rock needed to be here for the podcast.
Rock needed
this specific one.
This very
Rock will be on all future
Rock
podcasts.
will be on all future podcasts.
As the Rock.
Yeah. We need an anchor in here. It's like the divine masculine of the podcast.
That poor Rock.
That poor Rock.
He didn't know what he was signing up.
We should have gotten a bigger rock. Like a fucking boulder.
Wait, I think I have a bag of them in here somewhere.
I got so many rocks. But this one will do. So, yeah. Like, people are like, tell me about yourself. I'm like, I don't know. There's so many things.
They really just need the experience. Like, it's not like I can sit here and, like, list off, I'm Lynn Shelto. I'm ABCDEFG. Like, it's more of like, hey, I'm Linds. Do you want to go on a fun time? It's an immersive experience.
It's an immersive experience. You might cry. You're definitely going to laugh. You're going to question. You're going to question life itself.
You're going to wonder why you made every single decision up until this point.
And then you're going to see why.
In 2.2 seconds. Absolutely.
And you'll know.
And you will forever understand the rock drop after that moment.
Yeah. Can I get a rock drop?
Oh, there it is, ladies and gents. There it is.
Yeah. So, little tidbit. Tidbit.
We love titties.
We love titties.
No, we should just call it a titty.
Little
I
titty.
have a little titty for today.
I got
it's a little like side nip action, you know?
Side,
like,
yeah. Get the
like
chips and dip, baby. We're at Bonnaroo. There we go. I'm Dara. Yeah, nursing. About that. I do that. It's a job that I have. Currently, I'm a hospice nurse, but yeah, Linds and I met in the ER back in Nam. And good Lord, it's been 5 years on the spiritual journey, crazy life. My journey led me to a divorce. It led me to so many ego deaths. I have changed in so many ways. And it just keeps... I don't even know how to fully encompass that in like two sentences.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It is the gift that keeps on giving, and like in a true serious way. It just, I always say to my kids, another fun fact, I am a single parent. You are the revolution. It starts within. By emanating and fully accepting your truest version of self, and that true version may change throughout time as you get to know yourself and as you go through different things. Just embodying that fully is what creates the change. So it's really as simple as that. Like, just be yourself. It sounds so stupid simple, but if we really think about it, it's what we run from the start of our life. And this whole journey, this whole experience, and I feel like the whole assignment of being on Earth is to come back home to who you truly are. And it boggles my mind how difficult it is. Like, when you really think about it, taking all these layers away and healing through traumas and all of those things, the whole purpose of it at the end of the day is to come back home to who you truly are.
And that's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
Like, we literally signed up to come here. We didn't come here to sign up to... I mean, we signed up for a lot of things. So, like, we didn't come here to get matrix jobs and to slave away. Like, we literally came here to do the work, to find ourselves.
Yeah.
To peel back all the layers of the onion as I'm, like, already getting activated. Are we surprised?
Just a forewarning. Lindsay burps when she's activated. Let's get gross. If that bothers you, this is definitely not the podcast for you.
But if you don't mind it, we're here for it.
You just know it's really good when it's really deep.
Oh, if I'm burping like a freaking trucker out here, you know that the information that I am spitting is worth
Listen up.
sticking around for.
Listen up.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Nuts.
Nuts. Oh, and there goes my train of thought. God damn it.
Shit. Where's the map? We need somebody else. Joey. He needs to be our notary. He needs to be our notary.
I need like the whiteboard props off to the side. Like, no, you were here.
You were here. Come back.
Here.
Come back. Please come back.
I just need one word to be like, oh, that's what it was.
You were talking about, this is our assignment, is not to be in the Matrix.
Yeah, we're not meant to be in the Matrix. We are literally meant to be here to, like, we signed up for all these lessons. Yes, some of those lessons we do learn through the Matrix, right? But like, we came here to have fun. We came here to live a joy-filled life. We came here to peel back the layers of all the bullshit that we have been taught to get to this place where we find home within. And I think that's what so many people forget along their journey, right? Like from childhood to where we are now is like, we are the home. Home is not anywhere outside of us. Yes, this is a physical representation of what is already within me. And I think that's something that needs to be talked about more, but just like embodying that we are home. No matter where we go, no matter who we're with, our physical vessel is our home. And that's like, at least for me, like that's a huge part of my mission has been coming back home to myself and showing others how to do the same.
Absolutely. Because, and I mean,
no.
We just love each other so much. You go. I love you.
You go. I like it. Now are we fighting over the baton now?
Yeah. No,
is this how we fight over the baton?
You have it.
I really want you to have it.
Well, as you talk about that, like I want to bring up, because we've talked about it so much and it's been reflected back to us, a prime example is, are you comfortable going out and doing things by yourself? Can you go to a concert by yourself? Can you go on a hike by yourself? How does that make you feel? Do you have to drink? Do you travel by yourself? Do you have to drink to be comfortable to be in a space by yourself?
Do you have to drink just to get on a plane to go somewhere? You know, there's so many ways that I mean, you and I both, right? Like fun fact for everyone listening is that Dara and I have lived parallel lives pretty much till now. So if you hear us say same, but different, it's because
we quite out of my mouth.
We quite literally have lived very, very similar lives in a lot of aspects, but we've also lived very different lives in the same respect. And also we've been family in other lifetimes. So you might hear us talk about that too. As you're getting to know us along this journey.
It's a whole experience.
It is an immersive experience.
It's an immersive experience.
We are the art.
Fuck yes, we are.
And this is our story.
And this is the story of our art.
What a bunch.
Oh, man. But I think that's a great place to start. I mean, when I first got divorced and I had space alone, I could not be alone. It was the most uncomfortable. Like, if I was alone, I was probably crying or staring at a wall or wanting to scream. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I just serial dated and worked and drank and tried to go out. And I was just like, anything to keep me from, I couldn't just sit by myself. And that's when a lot of the work really started. And then to reflect, it's so funny. I have this hat on, which is Moontrix. When I went to Moontrix a month ago now, almost a month ago, it was the beginning of December.
Yeah.
Or no, it was before that. It was November. Yeah, a while ago.
Whatever. It was November, yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. was alone, I was sober, and I had the best freaking time. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was dancing like I didn't care. Just totally free. And that was such a benchmark moment for me of all the work that I have done has led me to this freedom within myself. To where I can be my most authentic self. And people are like, what are you on? And I'm like, nothing. Nothing. How do you do that? I'm my best friend, man.
If you're not your own best friend, like what at this point in our lives, like I can't even fathom not being friends with myself and being able like to think back to, again, fun fact for everyone is that we both got divorced about a year apart from each other. Mm-hmm. And this has been the journey of coming back home to ourselves post-divorce. And it's finding that love within. Like I was the same way. I got divorced, immediately started dating, which is quite literally like, if I could go back and give that version of me any advice, it would be to listen to the advice of the other people around me that had been divorced.
I was like, you don't know what you're talking about.
I was like, what do you mean I can't date for a year or two?
You should be alone. I was like, what are you talking about?
I'm like, what is
I'm fine.
First of all, what does that mean? Like, let's redefine being alone. Like, what does that mean? Because
like, honestly though, that's a great question to ask because I just look at our society. I think COVID helped with that, but it's like it's just constantly stimulating. And so we're accessible at all hours, at all times, by jobs, by friends, by people. It's just, it is insane. And to create the quiet space to explore who you are and be able to see what we are told versus what we believe.
Yeah,
that's a big one. That one's hard to do because it kind of tears you down to studs, and you're like, I don't know what life is.
It literally was me 2 weeks ago. I was like,
it just keeps happening.
That week was rough, but it was like literally to the point where I was like, I don't know what is real anymore. Yeah, like these things that I thought were real, my entire adult existence, my entire life up until this point, and now I'm like, what do you mean that's not? What? Okay, how do I feel about that? And then it's like complete opposite of the way that I had been thinking. Yeah, like that is a literal mindfuck, for lack of a better term, because
and I feel like it's going to, if it's not already happening for most. And I'm not an astrologer. Linds is not an astrologer. We do follow it. We are interested in it. We find that we can already kind of feel what's going on without actually knowing what's going on. But Pluto going into Aquarius and from Capricorn, and I'm a Capricorn, it was like so terrible. But we're moving into this time where like this veil is lifted, and I think it's going to send a lot of people into this state of just not knowing which way is up. Because look at the government already. We're like, yeah, aliens are real, and there's all these UFOs, and like all the things are real. Like everything in a fairy tale is actually real. It comes from something real. Yes, it may be like fictionized, but at the base of it, like the life that we are told to live and told is like, it is such a sliver of what is actual truth that it's hard for our brains to wrap around it. And it can send you into kind of this, like, I don't know which way is up.
I'm like ready to chuckle because all I can think of is, it's all a game.
It's all a game.
It's all a game. None of it fucking matters. It's all a game.
Yeah. Like, just have fun with it. But also know that you're not alone. I mean, welcome to the club. This ain't our first rodeo. It's our specialty at this point.
Yeah, literally. I want to welcome. I just want to take a minute to kind of like open this up and just welcome everybody into the space, because Dara and I have been through the ringer, quite literally. I don't know how many times we've gone through the ringer at this point, but we've been through it. And so I want to just take a moment and welcome everyone, whether you're listening and you are just in the start of your awakening, or if you've gone through multiple like us and you're looking back going, how the hell did I get here? But here we fucking are again.
Yeah.
Like, I really just want to really open up the space. You're going to hear us talk about a lot of different things, as we've been in this for quite a while. And for both of us, I think, the majority of our awakenings really started back in 2020. I feel like that was like the main.
Yeah, for sure.
That was like the first like mask peel back that came off was, in 2020. And like, at least for me personally, I had gone through multiple prior to 2020, but 2020 was like, there's no turning back. Whereas like, I feel like all my awakenings prior to that point, if you're someone who's going through an awakening right now and you're like, I can't see things the way that I used to, know that that's normal.
Because once you see it, once you see something, once you know a truth or your perspective has shifted because of something important or something traumatic or something just like completely eye-opening, you can't unsee it. You can't unknow it. And that can be hard sometimes. Like sometimes you feel like that ignorance is bliss. And yeah, things might be easier, but I promise it's worth it on the other end. The life now is just so much more enjoyable and rich and like beautiful,
so abundant. Like if I knew like back in 2019 right before the pandemic that like this is where I would be, I don't think I would have believed myself at all. Like, what do you mean I got divorced, I moved across the country, I traveled the world, and I went through the ringer while doing all of that, and now I'm here in a space where I get to podcast with my best friend, and we get to create literal magic to put out in this world. I don't know if I would have believed myself.
No.
Like, in a million years, I'd be like, you're joking. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
That I just left everything I knew, and now I'm here. And now I get to live this magical, abundant life that I have been dreaming of for so long.
So today when I was doing the Liberation Kundalini Kriya, I just kept hearing, how do I say this properly? Like, basically it was stop searching for the road. You're already on it. And the more you try to search outside of yourself, kind of like what we were talking about, like, what's the thing? Like, what's the idea? What am I supposed to be doing? What am I, like, all these things? You're already on the road. And if you just keep following it, and you just keep waking up every day and doing the things that light you up, and yeah, get your checklist done, but fill it up, fill your time, fill your space with what lights you up. That's the path. Yeah. And the more you try to mental it out of what should I be doing, the farther off the path you're going to get.
Well, let's like redefine should for a second. I was literally
just going to say, don't you should on yourself. Don't you go shoulding like all over this place.
It's like I'm psychic or something.
Oh my God. Shaker.
Yeah, like...
My favorite fucking laugh. My favorite laugh. Oh. I can't even do it. I feel like I can't even like communicate it over this microphone. I'm fucking it up. Like a good SpongeBob, like.
You really gotta activate like the.
You gotta. Right? It's so weird. Things are getting weird.
Things get real weird. How many minutes are we in?
I don't even know. Is anybody listening? Is anybody out there?
Time is irrelevant.
Time is not even
that's
real.
The first thing you'll learn here.
Oh, let's take a trip.
Lesson number
1. See what time's really made of. Just a bunch of circles.
Well, listen, if you're listening to this, you will drop into the portal with us and you will listen to this going, where did the last 2 Ds, where did the last 2 days go? And you're going to be like,
2 Ds.
Here. 2 Ds.
2 Ds.
2 Ds, 1 B.
Can I get it up top? Oh my god.
My immaturity is going to very strongly show triple C's.
Thick.
Like I like my girth.
Is that appropriate? Our actual inner minds. We're like two teenage boys going through puberty. It's terrible. It's
That's what's gonna
awesome.
make this podcast, though. That's the best part.
I mean, can we just be honest? Everybody talks about dicks.
Can we just normalize talking about dicks?
Can we just normalize this?
It's like titties,
Titties.
but almost better.
Well, I mean,
Depends
I would say
Well,
better.
it's better. Fun fact.
I was gonna say, I'm like, you tell me.
Do you see my eyeshadow?
Am I winking? Am I twitching? Nobody knows.
Ma'am, are you having a stroke?
Are you having a seizure? Are you okay?
Are you okay?
No.
Genuinely concerned. Yeah, be serious.
I'm fine. Look away. Don't make eye contact. What's your fun fact, Lindsay?
I'm bisexual.
Congrats.
Thanks.
A D, a V, some titties,
Both.
all the things. It's like Christmas.
I love Christmas.
It's just so moist around here.
I love some moist cake.
I would love cake right now. I have gone through this whole month without a baked
really
good.
I'm proud of you. I really
Today,
am.
Today was gonna, I was like, if there was a day that I was gonna have sugar. Fun fact to the peoples, my brother and I decided to do a challenge, and I've been doing carnivore diet since the day after Thanksgiving, and I've only eaten meat and a little bit of cheese and butter and eggs since that day, and it is December 18th as we record this, and it's going very well, but holy fuck, I'm a sugar gremlin, and today I've had a very hard day. Lots of tears. Not that you could tell, because I look stunning.
Duh, always.
Duh. But
Duh.
I was like, I want some chocolate. I want some fucking cookies. I am sad. And I didn't.
Because you're saving them for when I come home.
That is true. And my mom's
It's gonna be
making
a
me bread
celebration.
pudding. My mom's making bread pudding for my birthday.
Oh, and I'm not gonna be there.
You're not going to
Can
be
you
there.
sing me some?
It probably won't taste good. But you know what I do have? You know what I have? I have, and oh my god. Talk about like coming full circle to our last podcast, the Something Big is Coming. Because Something Big is here. I saved a pie crust in the freezer so I can make us a coconut pie. I know. You could fit a lot in that mouth right now. Like pie. Oh my god. Do people want to watch us? Do they want to see video of this? Yes. Yes, they do. No, they don't. Immersive experience? I don't know. You tell me.
It's an immersive experience for a reason. God. You never
It's
know
just
what's
so
gonna
thick.
You never know what's gonna come in or out of this
We
mouth.
love when things come. Oh my god.
Welcome to the 12-year-old boy podcast. My name is
And-
Lindsay Soto.
And I'm Derek Sohn, and when Lindsay and I text, no matter how the word come is used in a sentence, we always spell it C-U-M, and most of the time it has multiple M's and is in all caps, even if it doesn't mean jizz.
Can I get a rock drop?
Can I get a rock drop? It's coming for you. I don't know if that's going to deter or draw the peoples in.
Oh, it's a dick. It's a rock. It's a dick. It's a rock dick.
Can I just get buzzwords? Titties. Vagina. We're very comfortable here. Penises.
We are very. It's just why they were like, we're gonna make them ER nurses first, and then we're gonna put them
so desensitized. It's just anatomy. It's super fun,
dude. It literally, we're unhinged, and I'm not mad about it. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm not mad either.
Nothing is ever really serious about us. So, like, why are we gonna sit here and pretend?
I don't know. Great point.
Fuck the rules. I hate rules. We know
rules?
that.
I always say this. I'm like, rules are like guidelines. So in college,
up at a stop sign.
It's optional. It's optional. What did somebody tell me one time? They're like, oh, if it has a border. If it has a white border around the stop sign, it's optional. I was like, what? But then, like, I'm gonna
literally look at every stop sign.
Yeah, I think that's what it said. Somebody said, but that's because there's whatever it is around every single stop sign. So, therefore, in college, my freshman year roommate and I, everyone always used to get ready in our rooms, like it was like the room. And we got condoms and we put them all over, like unopened. So if you needed one, you could grab one. We had them on the ceiling. I had a D on my side spelled out in condoms and an A on her side spelled out in condoms. And we had all our little quotes were posted up on the ceiling. And one of them I remember is like, just because there's a goalie doesn't mean you can't score. And I feel like that pertains to rules being optional. And then one time, frickin' this idiot who slept over in our room or whatever, what is it? We had like a bunch of people sleeping over in the room. We all ended the night there. He went through my drawers to find a condom. Not for me, for whoever else he was fucking out in the room out there, whatever, common room. Yep. And I'm like, you dumb motherfucker, you're gonna go through all my shit? Look around. Take a look. Pick a side. Pick a wall. They're everywhere.
It's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Jesus Christ, for condoms. Have safe sex, people. Like, no, I'm gonna go through this woman's drawers. Guess what was not in the drawers?
A condom?
Exactly.
Shocker.
Shocking.
Shocker. Shocker. Who would have thunk?
Oh my God. People are dumb.
People are dumb. But we just send them on their merry way.
There you go. Do you know what I've thought about so many times? I feel like I was thinking about this recently. I'm going to tell you. So back to college.
Oh boy.
So we'd all get ready in my room, right? And our dorm room was on like a main strip of dorms right by the dining hall. And we'd get ready all the time with the windows open. Just with the curtains open. And I think back and I'm like, I wonder how many people saw us naked. Because we all were just getting
so many.
In there. So many.
Yeah.
I'm like, why the fuck didn't we close the blinds?
No one gives a shit. It's college.
I wonder if anybody stood there and watched.
Oh, 1,000%. There's probably a viral video somewhere out there.
Remember Vine?
Oh, I missed Vine. Before TikTok and all the bullshit.
I was just like, we were just unaware idiots.
Literally.
I was thinking about that. It's like one of those things, when you cringe, and you're just like, oh, God, why did I do that? I'm just like, everyone got ready in our room.
That's so crazy. Did I think about half the shit that I did in college, and I look back and I'm like, I'm really proud of myself for
I'm proud that you're alive.
Thank fucking Jesus. Like, Should have died several times.
Yeah.
And now here I am.
Yeah. Let's talk about like, open up the dialogue on like substances and spiritual awakening. Like, I don't really drink anymore. If I use anything, it's with intention, and it's because it's calling me, not because it's like, oh, it's Saturday night, we're going out and that's what we do. Like, it's
You mean you don't just shotgun beers on a random Saturday anymore?
never ever.
Shit.
I know. And I was talking about Bonnaroo and how we're like, honestly, we're pretty much sober like the whole time for the most part, like minus a day.
Yeah. Yeah, we really only dabbled after that first day.
Yeah.
And even then, like
Even that was like nothing.
even remotely. Dude, that's the move, honestly.
Honestly, it's the move. I think about going back to Bonner and I'm just like, the vibe is
Day
so
one.
high. Yeah, and just like the vibe is so high and you're just like immersed in such an experience that it's like, I just don't need those things anymore. I think back to so many fun things I've done, but I was so messed up that I like don't even remember half of it. I didn't gain the knowledge and the wisdom that could have been gained. Like,
Yeah. We did gain a lot from that time period. I don't want to discredit those versions of us, because like those versions of us went through a fuck ton of shit to get to where we are now.
Yeah, dude.
But at the same time, like, I was just watching a video on this yesterday, and the guy was talking about, how his his relationship to alcohol is so different now from what it used to be, right? Like and this is, I mean, I'm speaking for me, but I feel like I'm speaking for the majority of people here, like, that used to drink really heavily.
Absolutely.
Like,
same.
Also, fun fact, like, I had a problem when I was in college, and it took me years to accept the fact that I had a problem when I was in college. And I look back and, like, yeah, I learned a lot from that time, but like real true, like, lessons, like if you were to look at alcohol as an energy, as substance, whatever you want to call it, like, if I drink a beer now, it is so different than the experience that I had at the age of 20 or 21.
Yeah.
Like, when I drink a beer now, it tastes different. The experience is different. I used to never be able to just have one. It was always, I'm going to have one, and then I'm going to have 12, and then I'm going to be hungover as fuck the next day. I'm going to drink again, and everything's going to be fine. Like, and I think that's something, like, especially the more people that awaken, and I know there's still a shit ton of people that go out to the bars, but, like, I'm curious how.
And also, no judgment if you do.
No judgment whatsoever.
At all.
No judgment.
This is a judgment-free zone. We joke around, but it's like, try to shock me, I dare you.
Literally. And yeah, there's no judgment on any of this, because, like, I'm at a place now where I'm like, damn, I wish I could just, like, go to a bar and have a beer like I used to, and not have it be like this, like, I go to the bar and have a beer and get all this shitty sticky energy all over me, and then I'm like dying the next day because I had one drink at a bar. Like,
yeah,
like, it just makes me like, and I know, like, protection is one thing, but, like, you just, what people don't realize is you open yourself up to so much when you're working with this quote unquote spirits. Like, it's called spirits for a reason. It's meant to open you up. It's meant to open up to different worlds and different portals, or whatever the case is, however you use it. And that's why you'll hear Dara and I talk about, like, when we do it now, we do it with intention, because
it changes the entire experience.
And that goes for anything, like any sort of substance, alcohol, weed, lemons,
psychedelics,
psychedelics, whatever. Like, it, when you use it with intention, and we both have experimented with this, I should say, of, like, doing things with intention and doing things without intention, and you will get two completely different experiences, both of which you will be immersed in, but you will be a very different human in both experiences.
Yep. Yeah. It is really wild, and it's also super cool. And
It's so cool.
to kind of sideline off of this topic, as you progress in coming home and making a home for yourself and getting in tune with who you are and your gifts and your purpose and all those good things, when you start to live more intuitively, it's crazy how things can shift. Not only with your relationship to substances, because you may find that your body becomes intolerant to different things that it was not intolerant to before, but that also includes food. Like, I've become very sensitive to gluten. I found, like, my body basically was like, let's try this carnivore thing, and I've been feeling really great. And it speaks to me, and I'm like, oh, okay. And at different times, there's different things for a different purpose. But when you kind of follow it, it's not always going to make sense. But it is crazy because I feel like our society tells us to basically live one way, eat the same thing, do the same thing day in, day out, 9-to-5 jobs. Like, you just see these themes of going at 100 miles an hour all the time, or doing the same thing every day over and over and over again. It's when you start shifting and getting in tune with yourself, how different it gets.
It gets to be so different, and just like constantly, not constantly, but like, yeah, I guess constantly, like, looking at it all comes back to the path, right? Of like, is this thing that I'm engaging in actually beneficial for my path forward?
Mm-hmm.
Because realistically, like, if it's not benefiting you in some sort of way, like, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
Yes.
And our society tells us that we have to be available for every single thing at every single moment, right? Just all
do more,
back into, do more,
consume more or less if you're a woman,
or less, and like, there's so many ways to go with that.
Yeah,
there's so many ways that you can go with that, but I think ultimately, like, it's about slowing down. It's about, how do I be alone without these substances? Like, that really is coming home to yourself. If you have to medicate in order to be alone.
Yeah. And also ask yourself the question of, if I got really honest with myself, what does my diet look like? And I don't mean diet as in what food you're eating every day. I mean, when's your bedtime? What kinds of people are around you? How do you talk to yourself? What is your movement like? Like, it's literally every single part of your life. What's the music that you're listening to? What are the shows that you're watching? What content are you reading? What conversations are you having? It's everything, because you have a choice of what gets absorbed. I was watching The Handmaid's Tale and like went down this hole for a solid like 3-4 days. And I noticed how different my energy was when I was watching this show, because I was just like so stressed. It was so dark. It was so fucked up. Like, and it was affecting me. And I literally had to be like, okay, I need to stop watching this for a little bit, because it's just not doing me any good. And I haven't gone back to it. I tried, and I'm just like, I can't do it right now.
It's so interesting too. Like, and I'm curious if I feel like you've noticed this too. Like, the further along I get on this healing journey, on this awakening journey, if you will, right? Like,
which never ends.
Which never ends. Fun fact. You might as well just subscribe to the Wubs and Dubs diet now, because it just never ends. And there's nothing wrong. Literally, like, there's nothing wrong with it. But there it goes again. I keep losing my train of thought today, guys. Train hath hitteth the station.
In the words of my son, womp womp.
Literally, it's right there. So this might happen intermittently, I will say, is that one or both of us will lose track of whatever we were just channeling, like I just did.
That's okay.
Because we squirrel.
Things might change. Okay.
Yeah, things might change.
Things might change, just like this conversation. Just like what's coming out. Just exactly what's happening right here.
Literally.
Case and
being
point.
able to literally being able to flow. Like, if this was me like a year or two ago, me losing my train of thought probably would have just wrecked the next like 20 minutes. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, literal old me would have been like, that's it! Fucking Italian! I'm done!
I'm
Lifts
done.
up the table.
I'm gonna knock over the stonas.
Yeah, just like this, I'm done, you know? Things change, and it really is being in flow. Like, you're gonna hear us squirrel off in this podcast. Somehow we'll always make it back to the same road that we started out on.
Just like how we keep making it back to each other in every fucking lifetime. Here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
But yeah, I think the more that you can ease into flow in this life, like, it just makes...
And I mean, it comes down to so many little things. Like, I've seen you do it when we were at Red Rocks night, too. We come out, and there was, like, that fucking parking ticket on your car. I'm, like, holding my breath. I'm like, uh-oh. Shit. And you're like, I'll deal with it later. Like, yeah, it's going to be
doesn't
fine.
require... Yeah, like, it doesn't require
meltdown.
my attention right now. And, like, yeah, like, don't get me wrong. There are times when things like that would set me off into a meltdown. Yeah. But I'm like, if there's nothing, if you take away anything from our podcast, it's that you will learn, if you haven't already, like, you only have control over that moment that's right in front of you. You don't have control over the next 12 steps. You don't have control over what happened in the past. You only have control over this moment in time where you have a choice, whatever choice you're making, right? Because we have choices in every single moment of every single day. And it's how are you going to react in that moment? I could have let that moment absolutely destroy the rest of our night, and I could have been a little B. I was like, we're having a great time. Kind of, sort of, minus the abdominal pain.
That's a story for another time. And that didn't let I friggin' powered through that abdominal pain and had danced like a fool.
Yeah, dude. I think even with those dance.
I mean, my stomach still hurt till I got into the car. There was some whack ass energy in there.
Okay, but again, talk about diet, right? Like, that goes back to diet of, like, what were we consuming that night? Little did we know there's a lot of low frequency music going on in that place that night. That really just terrible. Brought a whole different... I mean, if you're watching, you're seeing both of our faces of just like... Ugh. Like,
so the story of this is that we went to LSZ for 2 nights at Red Rocks in October. LSZ itself was absolutely amazing. They did incredible shows. Like, their music was just, oh my God. And amazing. But things around it, I've been in the rave community since 2009. And I'm a deadhead. I have never, ever, ever experienced a crowd and a vibe that was so terrible.
So bad.
It was horrible.
There's, like, not even words to describe what we picked up on that night. And I still find it so interesting that, like, you got the brunt of it, I feel like. I think mine was more so picking up on your energy because we are so close.
Yeah.
And I feel like our energy is just naturally kind of weave
just like
together when we're just like a beautiful
just waving.
Like two snakes that just
two slithery little snakes.
Yeah. Just like don't want to let each other go. And because, like, I started to kind of move through mine, and yours, I feel like, lasted the whole time. Like, mine was there, but it was just more so,
yours
like,
cleared once they started playing. Once LSC got on, you were like, I'm good. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not, but this is fun.
Yeah, but like, looking at you, though, I wouldn't have known that you were struggling with what you were struggling with.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that night was just... I mean, there was a lot of things that happened prior to that, too, that all makes me wonder, you know, like... Did, like, the night before have any, like... Because I feel like we were still pretty open at that point.
Yeah.
Along our journey for things. And, I mean, you know, we could have let that whole experience ruin our night.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point you looked at me and you were like, if you weren't here, I'm leaving. Like,
yeah. Oh, for sure.
Fuck this energy. And I was like, oh, that says something. You know, for, like, you to be like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I don't need to be here. yeah, I don't even have words for that night. That whole weekend, really. I don't
Yeah,
have
that
words
was
for it, but
wild.
like that was a wild. I'm like grasping at things, like trying to hold on for dear life because I'm like,
Well, you know what's coming up right now is like bringing it back to this theme of being home within yourself, and as you get to know yourself. So we had this experience at these shows, and a lot of stuff came up, and we'll get into detail on it at another time. But we feel energy in our bodies quite a bit, and as you get to get more in tune with your body, as you make a home within your physical vessel and your energetic body, you become very aware of things around you. And that becomes a skill too of discerning what is yours, what is not. And it has truly blown my mind. And like we're both coming from being trained in Western medicine, how much an energetic can affect you on a physical level. And even if you're skeptical on that whole side of things, just like if you start to take note and look up meanings to different things, or look up meridians, or looking up kind of the emotional government of a organ or a body space, like it really is incredible how much our emotions and our experience and energy can manifest in our body. And becoming closer and closer and more at home in your vessel, like you become so much more clear on what that is and what it feels like, so you can move through things with more grace and more quickly. But just to tie it kind of back to what our umbrella is here.
yeah. And I think, a huge thing that you'll hear us talk about. There goes the burping.
I know, I see it. I see it.
Prime example. If you see me here, just like looks like I'm hiccuping off to the side, it's because I'm burping incessantly. Shocking. Obviously, clear case in point is like we feel things so intensely, and the more that you come home to yourself, the more intense those feelings will get for certain things. Your intuition might make you feel like you want to puke sometimes. There's that.
And
it might give you, and you might puke. It might also give you chest pain, like you think you're having an anxiety attack, and maybe it's to alert you of something.
And that goes back to like, what's your diet? How do you feel when you're around certain people? How do you feel when you're doing certain activities? Mm-hmm. What's coming up? Don't just say, oh, that's heartburn, or I have gas pain. Like if things are coming up, know what's around you, know what you're doing, and get in tune with what works for you. Because sometimes people don't, different activities don't. I mean, that's why alcohol doesn't for me anymore. And it's not because I have a judgment on it. Like there are times I seriously wish I could go out and just have a drink or go get drunk and let loose, but it just doesn't work with my energy where I'm at right now. And I have to respect that.
Yeah. It would be at this point, like, and I mean, I'm also speaking for myself, like that experience would be more detrimental to my overall health, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, than it would actually be benefiting me.
Yeah.
Like that night at Red Rocks, like both of us being like, is it really worth staying? Like, yeah, we want to see the music, but like my physical vessel is like, fuck this shit, I'm done. Like, and I mean, there's so many stories that we're going to talk about on here. I just keep going back to the night at the barn. Like that's a story for a whole other podcast episode. But like, that was a night that like sticks out very prominently in my brain of just like.
That's when it clicked. That's when it clicked about intention.
Yeah. And like doing any sort of medicine, any sort of quote unquote drug, substance, whatever you want to call it, doing it with intention, even so much so to us being at Red Rocks and like setting the intention while we were in the bathroom. It's like,
I mean, even if you go as far as like, even without medicine or anything else that you want to do, just setting an intention if you're going into an experience, if you're going into your day, it really makes a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference. And to like also reflect on that at the end of the day, like, what did you go into today with? Like, what was your intention? And then at the end of the day, reflect on how that intention actually came to life.
Yeah.
Was it actually like what you thought might happen? 9 times out of 10, it probably won't be. Because our small pea brains can only handle so much magic in one
in one day.
In one swap. But yeah, it's just setting intention for any sort of experience, whether you're traveling, whether you're going to work, whether you're going on vacation with your kids, you know, like whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge one, Linds. If anyone can speak on that, traveling. When you travel,
oh my God.
I mean, that we'll do a whole other episode on traveling and intention and astrocartography and all of that. But like, just, yeah. I think first and foremost, like, the assignment would be start taking note. Start taking note of how you feel.
Become aware.
Yeah, awareness.
Yep. Awareness is the first step to coming home to yourself.
Yeah.
Realistically, is like awareness of what's going on around you. How does your body feel? How do certain activities make you feel? People just, again, assess your diet, and then, you know, then you'll be able to move forward, because that awareness of like, that thing that's been on my path for a while, you know, really isn't vibing with me anymore. It's okay to let it go.
Yeah.
Jack says it's okay to let it go.
Jack says it's okay to let it go.
Just let it go. Yeah. Schmo said let it go. So
Schmo said let it go. But I think on that note, as it's like, I feel like everything's telling me we're done here. If you're watching me, it's getting dark. It's New England. It's almost 4:00. It's getting dark. My kids are getting off the bus soon. My dog's starting to bark at me. So I think on that note, this has been such an awesome first episode, and I just cannot wait to keep expanding and keep doing this together.
It's gonna be so good.
It is so good. But
I think at least we'll leave it at our intention for this podcast is to be a safe space for people.
Yeah, I was gonna say create space.
Yeah, just creating space and knowing that we are a literal judgment free zone, more or less judgment free than Planet Fitness, if you will. And that's because we've both seen and done a lot in this life, and I think that also it's helped us a ton. And I don't know, at least for me, I'm speaking personally, but like, I just want everyone to have fun. I want everyone to have as much fun in life as we have on this fucking podcast, man.
Hell yeah. And every other day and every other time we talk and do activities.
It's really second of every day.
Growing on that, because I agree with that, is creating that space. And the other thing that I've learned on my journey is nobody is above anybody else. You know, especially when I started off, I really looked up to people, and it almost felt out of reach, and it put me in this place of being lower than. We are not better than. Nobody is lower than. We are all learning from each other, and that's what we're here to do. And we've been through things, you've been through things, and we're all just here to learn from each other and become part of one another. And that's the purpose. So please reach out to us. We're going to have links on how to find us, how to contact us. We are always here for whatever.
Talking about all the things on the DL that no one wants to talk about. We're going to talk about here, and we're going to be real and fucking raw with it. And
raw dogging life. Do we do it any other way?
I am here for the raw dogging, man. Holy.
Not to be confused with the chili cheese dog. But it has been a good time on the DL where the mundane becomes magical, and I cannot wait to do this again. We cannot wait for you to be with us.
So excited, dude.
Thank you so much for tuning in, for your support, for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for being here, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.